The moment I stepped into the grand ballroom for my son Ethan's wedding celebration, I realized I had already been judged. Before I could even introduce myself, a frantic manager shoved a white apron into my hands and ordered me to report to the catering staff. I was about to explain that I was not an employee but the mother of the groom when I overheard Ethan's future father-in-law, Richard Lawson, laughing with his daughter Claire. He mocked me without ever seeing my face, warning everyone to keep the so-called cleaning lady away from important guests because she would embarrass the family. Instead of correcting him, I quietly tied the apron around my waist. As a federal judge, I had spent years watching people reveal their true character when they believed no on important was listening. This would be no different. Disguised as a server, I moved silently through the reception, carrying trays and pouring drinks while the wealthy guests ignored my existence. My son recognized me immediately, but one glance from me told him to stay quiet. I wanted to see exactly who these people really were before speaking a single word. Richard proudly told everyone that Ethan was marrying far above his station and that his family was doing my son a favor by accepting him. Claire treated every employee with open contempt, snapping her fingers at servers and insulting anyone who made even the smallest mistake. Every cruel comment became another piece of evidence in my mind, proving that this family measured human worth only by money and status. The most painful moment came when a young waitress accidentally offered Claire the wrong appetizer. Claire exploded with anger, humiliating the frightened girl in front of hundreds of guests. Seconds later, another tiny accident caused a few drops of champagne to spill onto the floor, and Richard mocked the entire staff, claiming hardworking people were becoming useless. While everyone laughed, I knelt beside the terrified waitress, helped her clean the floor, and quietly reminded her that honest work never deserves shame. Looking up from the marble floor, I realized the people standing over me believed kindness was weakness. They had no idea that compassion often belongs to the strongest people in the room. As the evening continued, I served drinks near Richard and several law firm partners. Hidden behind the apron, I overheard a conversation that changed everything. Richard openly bragged about hiding environmental evidence in a massive legal case worth billions of dollars, believing the federal judge assigned to the case would never discover the truth. The irony was almost unbelievable because I was that very judge. He insulted my intelligence, called me inexperienced, and confidently described how he planned to manipulate the court. Then the conversation became even darker. Richard admitted that his daughter's prestigious government internship had been secured through political influence after another deserving student application had mysteriously disappeared. When I looked toward the kitchen, I saw the same young waitress studying from an LSAT preparation book during her short break. In that instant, I realized she was the student whose future had been stolen. I quietly sent a message to my longtime friend Senator Daniel Brooks, who was attending the event as the guest speaker. Minutes later, he entered the ballroom and walked directly past Richard, ignoring his attempt to shake hands. Instead, he stopped beside me and asked loudly why Judge Catherine Brooks was wearing a catering apron. The room fell completely silent. Slowly, I untied the apron, folded it neatly, and revealed who I truly was. Richard's face turned pale while Claire looked as though the ground had disappeared beneath her feet. I calmly informed Richard that I had personally heard every word of his confession regarding the environmental fraud and destruction of evidence. I also revealed that I served on the committee overseeing the internship program his daughter had manipulated. His excuses collapsed instantly because he had unknowingly confessed his crimes in front of both a federal judge and a United States senator. My son finally walked to my side, removed his engagement ring, and quietly ended his relationship with Claire. Without raising my voice, I reminded Richard that the people he looked down on often possess far more power than he could ever imagine. The consequences came quickly. The massive corporate merger was blocked, Richard's law firm collapsed under investigation, and his legal career ended in disgrace. Claire lost her stolen internship and was forced to face the consequences of her actions. Meanwhile, I located the hardworking waitress whose dream had been stolen and personally ensured she received the internship she had rightfully earned. Watching her hold that acceptance letter with tears in her eyes reminded me that real justice is not about revenge. It is about restoring opportunities to the people who deserve them. Even today, the white apron hangs beside my judicial robe in my closet. One represents where I came from, and the other represents what I became. Both remind me of the same lesson. A person's true character is revealed not by how they treat powerful people, but by how they treat those they believe can do